Hey gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey and this is a 2024 Mazda CX-50. This vehicle has been reviewed by us numerous times already here on the channel, so I'm doing something a little bit different. I am reading and responding to your comments on those videos right here on this video. And I'm also going to share a little bit of insight with you from our time with this one through torrential downpours in Southeast Texas. Stay tuned. Yes, gearheads, we've had this vehicle on our channel quite a bit. In fact, the last one we had was a 2023 model that looked just like this. Polymetal gray, terracotta interior. So if you don't like the fact that I left this one dirty from our excursions to Southeast Texas, and you want to see a review of a pretty clean one, go check out our 23 review, because essentially it is the same vehicle, left mostly unchanged. Speaking of those previous videos, let's get into the comments on some of them. This is a very well-liked vehicle, according to you down in the comments, because I found a lot of positive, glowing reviews from people who have owned these or really like them. Like this one that we've got here from Eric Delasario 6779, who says, "Thanks, appreciate your take on the Mazda CX-50. He bought his, a CX-50 GT Turbo in Canada, that's a trim we don't even get, in October of 22, and he really enjoyed driving it. Never had a single issue with it at all." Thank you so much, Eric. We love hearing from owners and getting to hear your experiences. And then we had Eleanor Masario 5195 say, "Same here. It really feels like a quality vehicle." Gars 1074 says, "Great review. First time I've watched your channel and subscribed." I guess that one's more for me than the vehicle, but I'll take it. "How you liked him, Rice?" I guess, says, "Mazda CX-50 Turbo or Buick Envision Avenir. Most dealers have reduced the price by $5K on all Avenires." We really liked the Buick Envision Avenir that we tested. In fact, when we had that one, we really compared it a lot to this vehicle. It really goes more towards what you are looking for. This really is more of a sporty vehicle, where that Buick is more of a luxury cruiser. Chris Naw 6540 says, "I wish it had a hybrid system available." Same here, same here. That gets us into some of our comments on fuel. How's the range in the car based on your experience? I'm seriously considering and wanting to know how good it is with gas. I've heard the hybrid version is supposed to be coming out in 24. It didn't. That'll be much more fuel efficient. I have one and the fuel efficiency is the only thing I don't like so far. I'll be trading mine in for the hybrid when it comes out. So let's talk about that fuel economy. We have put over 500 miles on this vehicle, and that is driving down to Beaumont from East Texas and back through torrential downpours, Texas highway speeds, slower speeds, everything in between, over 500 miles, almost 540, and we're seeing 23.5 mpg on this, which is good, but not great. The friends that we had riding with us to Beaumont and back drive a full-size Ford Expedition with their 3.5-liter turbocharged 6-cylinder in that one, and they say they see over 20 mpg in the right conditions. So the fact that this compact 4-cylinder only sees 23.5 is a little on the sad side, but there is a reason for that. Mazda did not tune this thing for fuel efficiency, they tuned it for fun. And as we set off in this one, I'm in normal mode now, but I can switch it over to sport, and this thing will move, and sounds pretty good when it does it too. It scoots. It's got decent power for a little turbocharged 4-cylinder, and one thing Mazda does very well is their engine tuning on the fly. They will actually quote additional power if you put 93 octane in this one. So if you don't like the power and performance right out of the box, right off the showroom floor, you can put premium fuel in it, and the engine will do all the work to squeak out and eke out a little bit of extra power, which is a huge plus for me. Then here's one, my most commented comment on Mazda reviews when we're talking about the infotainment system in these and how most people find the knob, joystick, wheel thing on the inside to be completely frustrating, wishing that the screen was a touchscreen. This says, it's a touchscreen when you're using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Yes, when it's on CarPlay, it is touchscreen and you can just go through everything right here. But as soon as you set off into motion, well, it is no longer touchscreen anymore, which is kind of annoying. Again, we took this on a long road trip to flooding Southeast Texas and back, and I really wanted to be able to just reach up there and take care of things. Unfortunately, well, I could not. So I was forced to use the wheel here, which, well, does what the wheel wants to do. There's a lot of scrolling involved, even on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, even when in motion. It's not the best. I like options. Give me options. I know this is a touchscreen. I know it works as a touchscreen. Just all the time. Lawyers, go away. Yeah, Mazda lawyers, get out of here. Let us do what we need to do as quickly as we know that we can do it. This is just annoying. Here's one. Good looking vehicle, so-so review. I took that one a little personally, but they got back to me. Nothing personal. I'm not trying to be mean. I know that talking to a camera is not easy. The bar on YouTube is pretty high, and a comprehensive review can be done within 15-minute time frame. If you were going to take it for a drive and put it through its paces a bit, your review might have felt more dynamic. Keep it up. Well, let's get to that one. The driving character of this. This is why you would buy a Mazda over the Buick Avenir or anything else in this class. The driving characteristic of this. This is the same brand that makes the MX-5 Miata, and it shows. This is a very taut suspension and very taut steering rack on this one as well. So the driving character, the driving dynamics of this really do mimic the fun sporting driving that the brand is known for, especially when it comes to that MX-5 Miata. I like the all-wheel drive confidence that this gave us driving through conditions like that. Wet, sloppy nastiness. This really was a confidence-inspiring vehicle through all situations. Though I will say, with 4 adults, 1 child, and all of our luggage in the back, it did feel like maybe, perhaps, we were overworking the engine just a bit. Then this last one from Ranger Rick TV. This or Outback? Well, Ranger Rick, it really depends on what you're going for. This is more of an on-road fun machine than it is an off-road fun machine, especially when comparing it to something like a Subaru Outback. If you really want a more leisurely or more off-road focused vehicle, look towards that Outback. But if you're wanting something more on-road and fun, definitely look at the Mazda CX-50 and its zoom DNA that cannot be ignored, in my humble opinion. And then we've got a comment saying, can a 6-foot dude fit in this one very easily? And I take slight offense to that because at 5'10", I mean, I'm almost there, but knowing that no body is built exactly the same, my 5'10" frame is not the same as every other 5'10" frame on the market. Some of you have taller torsos and shorter legs, some have vice versa. I feel like I'm pretty equally proportioned from my waist up to my waist down, but as you can see, I fit in here rather nicely. If I were 6 foot, I would probably be around here. And yeah, I'm flirting a little bit with headroom issues, being a little bit taller torsoed, sitting a little more upright, not slouching as much as I do typically when I get in vehicles. So I would say a 6-foot person could fit in here nicely. That being said, going to our trip to Houston and back, I had a 6'4" passenger riding in here with my son in the back seat and 2 more adult passengers in the back seat. We truly did have this thing loaded down. That translates to another thing I found really nice and surprising about this vehicle, the cargo area. While not best in class, it is still very roomy. Talking about having a cabin full of people, including our 6'4" passenger and 2 adults in the back, we were able to pack for 3 adults and 1 child with all of our stuff back here without any problem. Granted, we were only staying 1 night on our adventure, so we all packed relatively lightly, but yes, plenty of room back here in the back hatch for all of our stuff, and it made traveling very easily. And then we do have our spare tire underneath here. Inside the spare tire, there is the subwoofer to the Bose system. And then we have some additional storage spots here on the side, which actually worked very well for us, storing some smaller things that we didn't want rolling around. If you don't have 5 people in this one and want some longer stuff, you can easily fold these seats forward, very flat, from back here with these latches right here on the side, which was another very nice touch when we wanted to load some bigger stuff in, not on a road trip with 5 people inside. This one made me chuckle. Better without the hat, dude. Well, is it? I mean, I intentionally went without just for you. Suspension and build quality issues reported online are worrisome, but other than that, it's beautiful and I can't wait to see the 2nd generation. He followed it up by saying, I think Mazda is one of the more exciting brands lately. And when that comment was made, the CX-90 was not out yet, the CX-70 was not out yet, and I really wish personally that those 2 vehicles had followed the design formula of this one just a little bit more. The CX-70 definitely takes more of the design cues from this one, a little more sporty, athletic than the CX-90's, kind of more luxurious and refined. But all the way around, I really like the design direction that the brand is going, for the most part. Other things that I have learned from putting over 500 miles in a single trip on this vehicle over a week's worth of owning it, possessing it, as the case may be. We've gotten into the quibbles of touchscreen versus the wheel and things like that, but some things that only came up because of the weather that we were in. The wipers. We do have automatic wipers on this one, but I found that maybe they were just a little too slow to respond. So in the ever-changing conditions, driving from East Texas to Southeast Texas in varying degrees of rain the entire time, I found I had to take it off of auto and put it into all-out fast mode, which was very easy. You could just swipe it down like that. Made for just a consistent wiping of the windshield. And I typically don't get to review the automatic wiper systems of all the vehicles we test, but my goodness, I really put this one through its paces. I don't think we saw the sun once on our trip from East Texas down to Beaumont. That's saying a lot. Just Google the distance. Tyler, Texas, Beaumont, Texas. Rain the entire time. That being said, the all-wheel drive in this, very, very good. The power in this, very good. I was never worried. This does have a lot of safety systems built into it as well that helped me monitor where I was within the lanes of the road. So I liked that a lot. It's not the most, I'll say, intrusive system. It's more of a lane watch versus lane keeping. It'll beep at you, but you don't really get any feedback in the steering wheel to point you back to the center of the lane. I liked it, fair enough. I also got visual warnings on my head-up display, which I really liked, which also really helped us on this road trip. All the way around, very good. The visibility in and around this one is also very good. Blind spot monitors, blind spot warnings on the mirrors and on the head-up display. Lots of really good, again, eyeballs, safety tech all the way around me, helping me keep us safe in the process. All the way around, really like that very much. Comfort and convenience. The front seats up here, very nice, very comfortable, heated, ventilated, with an automatic mode. Love that a lot, but I heard from the 2 adults riding in the back seat got a little stiff on our 3-ish hour road trip. So that was a little bit of a nitpick, but if the back seat is barely used or is used by kids, not frequented by adults, the back seat works fairly well. Road noise. Road noise was something that came up in the comments on this one as well. And I will say, Yeah, it's a little bit noisier than some others in the class. And I would also attribute that to the sporty nature of this vehicle. It definitely is more tuned towards road feel, road presence, and yes, that turns into road noise. We had no problems conversing in here on our long road trip. We had a very nice, calm ride. But as you can hear, as I'm on this textured East Texas pavement, it is a little on the noisier side. That being said, if you wanted to look towards something maybe more like a Buick Envision Avenir, that is definitely more tuned towards a quiet and serene ride versus the more sporty ride and handling of the CX-50. Well, there you have it, gearheads. A few of your comments responded to, a few of my learnings from spending a week with this in torrential downpours, and a few other odds and ends along the way. We really did enjoy our time with this one. Sure, we would have liked a bigger vehicle for the expedition that we were going on, but this proved to be very nice and proof that you don't need a big or 3-row SUV, even if you are going on a big 3-hour road trip with multiple adults. And the driving character of this cannot be ignored. This is definitely the driver's crossover, the driver's 2-row SUV when it comes to the experience. This really is a fun experience behind the wheel. Nice taut steering, nice firm steering wheel in its sporty feel and just how it feels to hold it. And then the tight sportiness of the steering wheel as well. It's not loose, it's not light. It is definitely an athletic vehicle through and through, and you will enjoy driving it spiritedly if you choose to get one. Really like that. Thank you so much for commenting on our vehicles. Comment down on this one. Comment on future videos, and maybe we will do a responding to your comments on those. We really like hearing from you, especially if you own one of these. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below. Ring the bell so you are notified every time a future video comes out from us. And definitely want to stick around for Holly gets behind the wheel of this one, Tucker back in the back seat. We do our typical family review, including installing his child safety seat. You won't want to miss that. Find us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, you name it, everything at GT Garage Talk, or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com. But as for me, behind the wheel of the very sporty Mazda CX-50, until next time, gearheads, bye. I've got my friends over at that's falling over and that looks really bad. It's not ready for 70 mile an hour. Wind.